Hello. In this vlog, I mentioned in the one I just made that I would share the story of the beginning of my husband and me. Our little story, the beginning of our story at least. There are lots of stories. And I have this drive today by myself, so I'm just taking advantage of it to make a few videos. Take your time getting through them. Choose whatever you want to watch first or second or third. It'll all come together as one big story. So this video is the beginning of my husband and me. My husband and I met in 2013 technically. I started working at a Cracker Barrel as a server in college. This is my college years. I think I was 20. I was 20 years old. And for reference, I'm 27 years old, 27 and a half years old now. So, 20 years old, I started working at a Cracker Barrel in 2013. This is when the first time we met. I walk into Cracker Barrel. I'd been working there for a few weeks, and I was very bright-eyed, bushy-tailed at this age, and unscathed, I guess. Not unscathed, because I've been through a lot in my life, but I had more energy than I do today as a mom of four young children. So I walk into Cracker Barrel and I see this guy coming out. He's in a chef jacket, so I know he works there. But I hadn't seen him before. I hadn't seen him yet, and I had made a point to get to know everybody at the Barrel, the Cracker Barrel. We refer to as the Barrel. So I said, "Hi, I'm Lily. I haven't seen you before." And so I asked him, "Oh, are you new here?" And he just looks at me like dead-eyed, and he's like, "I've been working here." And I was like, "Oh, okay, bye. Have a good day." And I went on, and he thought nothing of it. If he were to tell the story himself, usually he says, "Just another pretty face," because a lot of young college girls come and go, college kids come and go in that store in particular. The restaurant is referred to as a store. So I was just another pretty face to him, in his words, as he says. So fast forward to about end of March 2014. So I learned from a then mutual friend that he liked me. And I was like she was telling me that somebody liked me in the Barrel, and I was like, "Oh, ooh," and I had no idea. And then she told me, Adele. My husband's name is Adele, A-D-E-L. As he says, Adele, like the British singer, but without the E, because he can't sing the high notes. There's a little laugh, if you find that funny. And so I was like, "Adele? Oh." Because I talked to pretty much everybody in the Barrel at that point, because I did morning and evening shifts. But I realized I had never talked to him. And so I was like, "Oh, like, how could he like me?" And I later found out the story of how he did. Other guys would talk about me, and he gathered over time, like, "Oh, I think I like this girl." And so anyways, so this friend tells me that he likes me. I was like, "Oh, okay." So I would try to like offer opportunities for him to talk to me, being like, "Hi," and he'd be like, "Hi," kind of like, "Why are you talking to me?" And so one of our things is chocolate covered almonds, because there was one day, it was around Easter time, and there was this like sale with the chocolate covered almonds, and they were selling them in the back, and so I got some because they're super yummy. So I offered him, on my way out of my shift, I offered him a chocolate covered almond. I was like, "Hey, you want a chocolate covered almond?" And he's he's in the back counter at this point. He's working and I'm getting off. And he's like, sure. So I gave him some chocolate covered almonds. So that's a thing now. Here and there we'll get each other chocolate covered almonds. Just as a little I love you thing. So then April 8th comes and I have a shift in the afternoon. It's like later afternoon. It's kind of dead. It's about like 4 or 5 o'clock, like 4 o'clock-ish, right before the dinner rush starts. And so I look out and guess who's in my section? Adele. And so I go up to him and I knew that he liked me at this point. And now he's in my section, so he's got to talk to me now. So I go up to his table and greet him and get his order and stuff, and then we get talking because it was pretty dead at this point, and at the restaurant, so we had time to talk, to chat a bit. So he knew that I was very much into the pro-life movement. I was an activist in the pro-life movement at the time. Just disclaimer, my position has changed as the movement itself has changed. So I'll explain that in another vlog later, my views. You can disagree with me, that's fine. But anyways, so he knew that I was really active in that, so he wanted to know more about that, and he knew that, what was our other talking point? I forget. But I told him, like, oh, you can friend me on Facebook. And he's like, actually, I don't really use Facebook. So I was like, okay, well, here's my number. And so I gave him my phone number. And it was a really sweet way of asking me on a date. He said, I'd really like to get to know you better. Could I take you out for dinner tonight? And I wanted to laugh because he was eating one of the biggest plates that Cracker Barrel offers, the Cracker Barrel sampler. So you have 3 meats and 3 sides. So he had his meats and all of his sides were starches. And he had like 5 raspberry lemonades at this point. So I wanted to laugh and be like, you're gonna eat dinner again? But I said, yes, I would love to. So for a later vlog, you'll notice that I say it again at our engagement. I said, yes, I would love to. But anyway, so I finished my shift, text him. He shows up an hour late to pick me up. And I'm like, it's not that hard to find. And then I found out he lives like 2 minutes down the road from me. So I open the door and he has a potted Easter lily because it was Easter time. Oh my gosh, this lily lasted for weeks in my apartment and it smelled so good. So he comes in and he goes through what I call a cat scan because I had 2 cats at the time, and fortunately they're still alive. I tell them they're never allowed to die. But he went through what I call the cat scan. My cats immediately, like even the one who never comes out for anybody in front of me, came out and purred all over him, and she's still his cat to this day. And the other one approved, and even my roommate at the time's dog approved of him. So he went through the cat scan and the dog scan. So that was good. And he opened the car door for me and we went to dinner. We went to BJ's that was in town. It's a restaurant for any people who aren't familiar with BJ's or only know BJ's Wholesale Club or something like that. Or Unmentionable BJ. No, I don't do that. So we went to the restaurant called BJ's Brewhouse and we had dinner there and talked, and what I took away from it was, even though I creeped on him before the date and realized I, a Catholic, said yes to going out with a Muslim. Like, if for those of you who are familiar with Catholic culture, especially like traditional Catholic culture, like that's a huge no-no. But at this point I was resolved to just give a guy a chance, and I found out we shared this basically the same moral and ethical values, and that's what mattered most. So we had great conversation and it was great. Very respectful, very gentlemanly. We got along really well, enjoyed our time, and just kept going on more dates. And I guess the rest is history, as it's said, because it's true. Thanks for listening. What do you think of our beginning?